This is GT again with the GT Sports Podcast coming to you on this Sunday, January 21st, the day after we had a couple games in the playoffs in the divisional round yesterday. Both one seeds taking wins. Baltimore pretty much running away with that one against the Houston Texans. Baltimore took away the run from Houston, and they were able to get after the quarterback. And they struggle with a quarterback that's mobile. I mean, those are things that I told you guys in prior podcasts that Houston struggles with that. They had the opportunity to make a couple plays and weren't able to get it done. I still think Houston's going to be a good football team going forward. I just think they kind of hit that buzzsaw. Baltimore wasn't messing around. So good kudos to Baltimore. Now they'll look forward to see if Kansas City or Buffalo's coming to town next week and for a great matchup. Second game of the day would have been the San Francisco 49ers versus the Green Bay Packers, which was another great game. That one came down to the wire. You look at a missed field goal by the Packers kicker. I think their coach was quoted saying, anytime he goes on the field, he prays. So please, Jesus, hopefully he makes his field goal. Missed a 41-yarder. Kept the score at that point 21-17 in favor of the Packers. It could have been 24-17 in favor of the Packers had he made that field goal, which he didn't. And then they San Francisco 49ers do what they did, and they walk down the field. Christian McCaffrey gets a run from the red zone, scores a touchdown. They go up 24-21, and that's all she wrote from there. Greenlaw gets a pick on Jordan Love, throwing basically across the number one thing you don't do as a quarterback, right? Throw the ball late across the middle. Cross-body throw, he just kind of chucked it up there. I think he was just hoping and praying, and Greenlaw makes a play on it. Those linebackers for San Francisco are very athletic, very versatile. So Greenlaw and Warner, two of the best. That's probably the best linebacking duo in the league. So Lions or Buccaneers, whoever has to play them guys are going to have their work cut out for them. Hopefully they can get Deebo Samuel back and get him back in the game next week, because him being out is huge, and I think that changed their offense, and I think that was one of the things that kind of got them in trouble a little bit. His status was murky prior to the game. He tried to make a go of it, but he couldn't. Still, the Packers were able to make it a game, and Purdy looked like he struggled a little bit with the wetness, wiping his hands off as he's in his three-step drop out of shotgun, which I like how Shanahan went to letting him run out of shotgun, because in prior seasons, man, he's been a lot of that I formation, a lot of play action passing. His offense obviously goes through the run, opens up a play action pass. His screen game is definitely huge. And so I think that you look at what he did yesterday. He was able to adjust to be able to get the win, which I think is huge. Being able to make the proper adjustments as a coach to get a win. So they'll be looking forward to whoever they're going to play. I'm going to go through these games today. So the crazy thing is both these matchups happened during the season. The Lions played the Buccaneers back in week 6 of the NFL season. The Buccaneers are going through a slump. I think they lost like 4 or 5 straight during that stretch. Jared Goff had 353 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks, no run game at all. I mean, they averaged 1.5 yards per carry, the Lions did. Pretty much the Goff show. Now, the Buccaneers did get some pressure on Goff, but they won 20-6. They completely shut down the Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense. Do I think that's going to happen today? I don't believe so. I think Tampa Bay has grown a little bit offensively, established the run game a little bit better, and I think that's what was missing in this game. So Baker had 206 yards, no touchdowns, and an interception. They averaged 2.9 yards per carry in that game. So I would expect there to be a heavy dose of passing in our game today. I think that both teams have pretty good run defenses, and it's going to be a struggle. I mean, you've seen the Rams. Matt Stafford last week, he put it on them. I mean, he was gouging them for yards on top of yards last week. And then the Buccaneers, they didn't really have any struggles with the Philadelphia Eagles. they blew them out of the water. Defensive, Baker looked like he could win in the playoffs. He played really, really well. I think he had the best quarterback performance of the wild card playoffs round. He did a great job. I was impressed with his ability to quarterback. That game's a hard one to pick. I think it could go in any way, actually, when you look at it. But we'll go over my picks here soon. A couple coaching things in the NFL. Looks like it's going to be Mike McCarthy for another year for the Dallas Cowboys. Whoop-de-woo. I know Cowboys fans probably aren't very happy about that. When you got a guy like Bill Belichick out there, he's actually interviewed for the Falcons, and the Falcons are keeping their search open. I think they're going to try to talk to the other Harbaugh brother that's coaching out of Michigan. It seems like the Falcons are kind of a job that's pretty hot. So we'll kind of see what those guys do and where they go. Philly looks like they're keeping Sirianni, which I thought they would. I didn't see no reason for them to. Granted, they sputtered down toward the back end of the season, but I didn't see any reason for those guys to go and say, hey, we need to just get rid of him. It didn't make sense to me. So I figured they would keep Sirianni, let him keep coaching. Probably make a change on that defense. Their defense is old. They got a lot of money on that side of the ball, too. Especially with their defensive backs, man. And then also on the defensive line, too. And they weren't able to get pressure. They weren't able to cover. They haven't been able to tackle all season. It's been horrible. So hopefully they can make some changes and get back to prevalence. And then get, like I said last week, get Jalen Hurts some easy throws, man. Like, let that dude throw some easy stuff. Quick ball. Get the ball out quicker. I think that will help him going forward if he's able to get the ball out quicker, for the simple fact that he's thrown. When they were high flying last year, he threw the ball deep a lot. He got a lot of big chunk plays, but if the chunk plays aren't coming, you still got to be able to be consistent and methodical, and that's kind of the missing centerpiece there. So hopefully Sirianni can get it together. As far as hiring another coordinator on the offensive side of the ball, I think they're missing Shane Steichen. Just like KC was missing Eric Bieniemy. There's detailed things that Eric Bieniemy is all about, and KC was missing him. So Philly definitely missing their OC, but their defense is in shambles, man. They got to start over, figure some things out, make a few changes, and then kind of move from there. So now let's go over my picks real quick before we get out of here. Before I do that, make sure that you guys share my content. You can comment. I'm interactive on here. Subscribe to my channel as we try to grow our community here at the GT Sports Podcast. I appreciate you guys watching. So let's go over the Buccaneers versus the Lions game. I was kind of back and forth on this one. Like I like what I saw from Tampa. I like what I saw from Detroit. I think that Detroit pulls away with this one. Field goal win. It's going to be a close game. Somewhere in the realm of like 27-24 in that ballpark is what I would bet on. I think Goff has a great game, and I also think Mayfield has a great game as well too for Tampa Bay. Another team that you didn't expect to be here was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Impressed with them. They had a great season. Hopefully they can build on it. Now let's talk Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. I don't know, man. The Mahomes boys might be pissed at me on my pick here, but we'll see. Like I said, I think that this game comes down to the turnover margin. If Kansas City can hold on to the ball, take care of the ball, not turn the ball over, I think they can win. If Buffalo comes in and they turn the ball over, because I think Kansas City's defense is on a great enough level where they can get some stops on Buffalo. I think that Josh Allen's going to play Superman this game. But I see this also being a close game, one of those 3-point victories. They'll probably score a couple touchdowns. I know there's been snow on the ground out there, but you saw what KC did at home in the Freezer Bowl. So as far as the weather goes, I don't think that affects either team as much as it did the Miami Dolphins last week. So we'll see. Where it's going to come down to Travis Kelce's ability to catch the ball, which he's been slipping lately. I think Rashee Rice has a great game this game. I think he's huge. Pacheco, I think that KC is going to have to run the ball consistently to be able to get a win today. But all in all, I think when you look at the quarterback battle, Patrick Mahomes is in a class all his own. Coaching, I would definitely edge that towards the Kansas City Chiefs. Trust Andy Reid. He's been doing it for a while. He's been successful in the places that he's been. Now let's talk talent, overall team talent. I would side with Buffalo there, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Even on the defense side of the ball, I mean, they got some great pass rushers. Their linebackers have kind of been depleted a little bit. They've had some injuries and struggles there. Defensive backfield has had the same. But I still think that that's a very well-coached team. But my pick for the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Buffalo Bills playoff game in Buffalo, we're going to fly high today. What's yours truly? Patrick Mahomes and them. I think they get it done. I think they take care of business. Field goal win. I think they avenge that season loss where dumb Tony decided he was going to line up all sides and cost them the game, essentially. Cost Travis Kelce probably the play of the century. I think Patrick Mahomes gets it done. He's locked in. I think this is a close one. Like I said, a field goal win for the Kansas City Chiefs. But I think they go into Buffalo today and upset the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen. Josh Allen's just struggled against Kansas City in the playoffs, and I don't think it ends this year. I think there's just something about that. It's kind of like Peyton Manning back when they played the Patriots. Trust me, I know all about that as a Colts fan. Peyton Manning struggled against the Patriots in the playoffs. Now, if Allen were to get over the hump and get a win, I would be picking them to win the Super Bowl if he's able to get over the hump today and get a win. But I don't see it. I'm going with them KC boys. Patrick Mahomes don't make me look bad. Like I said, like and subscribe to the channel. Button should be at the bottom. Appreciate you guys. We'll be back on later on this evening. Probably do some live clips of the games as well. Talk to you soon.